Hello, guys, and welcome to another edition of All NBA 24/7. I'm your host, Rishi Kapoor. And tonight's episode number 60, I'm going to be discussing with you guys who I believe is the greatest NBA coach of all time in NBA history. Names that come to mind obviously are, Arnold Red Auerbach, um, Greg Popovich, Phil Jackson, Lenny Wilkins, Don Nelson, Doc Rivers, Pat Riley, um, and just a lot of names. But I gotta say, at the end of the day, what determines the greatest coach of all time is rings, and nobody has more rings than this man, Phil Jackson. Won two rings as a player and won 11 championships, six with the Chicago Bulls and five with the Los Angeles Lakers. He's got the most rings, um, you know, as a player and coach combined in NBA history. Um, he just did like a fabulous job, like in Chicago, and making that dynasty. He was a part of three peats, obviously two in Chicago, one in LA. And a lot of people, say, okay, yeah, Phil Jackson had the greatest players of all time, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Paul Gasol. But at the end of the day, Phil Jackson, um, and Tex Winter were the mastermind, behind the triangle offense, and running that offensive system and defensive systems, with their teams, and their teams were always, the best offensive and defensive teams in the NBA. This man was, always, like in the NBA Finals. I believe he played in. Um, so he played in six, obviously, with the Chicago Bulls, and his teams went 6-0. And then with the Lakers, his teams went 5-5-2. So he played in 11. Um, his teams played in 11 NBA Finals, right? And seven, no, sorry, not 11, 13 NBA Finals, um, and won 11 of those 13 NBA Finals. And obviously, he played in finals as a player with New York. But people don't give him, I believe, they always are quick to say, okay, he had the greatest players, but at the end of the day, you need a coach that can manage all kinds of personalities. I mean, Phil Jackson managed, Dennis Rodman, who was just, out of control. And, he managed Metta World Peace, Kobe and Shaq, and managing their egos, and making them put their egos out the door for as long as he could. And then, he didn't really have to do a lot with, Michael and Scotty, because Scotty knew his role as the second option. But, Phil Jackson, acclimated the offense and defense and managed all these egos, all these personalities, made them play as a team. The triangle offense had everybody touch the ball. Like in my opinion, that's why he's the greatest coach of all time, because all these other coaches, Red Auerbach won 9 titles in Boston. Pat Riley won, five titles in LA, and then, one in Miami as a coach. But at the end of the day, and obviously multiple as an executive. But at the end of the day, Phil Jackson won, six in the East, and then he won five out west, right? He's got 11 championships as a coach, and it's really tough to beat that. At the end of the day, his Chicago Bulls finished 72-10, 87-13 if you include the playoffs and regular season. That team is the greatest team of all time, in my opinion, because they had the best regular season ever. Well, not ever now, but Golden State beat them, but they got the job done and won the championship. His 2001 Lakers went 15-1 in the playoffs. I mean, these are all records held by Phil Jackson's teams. Obviously, he didn't do a great job as an executive, but we're talking about coaches here. And he is the greatest coach of all time, in my opinion. He's got the resume to back it up. If he'd only won 6 titles in Chicago, I understand he would be at the top, but not. He would be one of the top, but not at the top. But the fact that he won 11 titles, six in Chicago, and he didn't stop there and won five in LA. Um, I mean, that's just incredible. I mean, after Jordan retired, he won five more. After Kobe and Shaq broke up, he won two more. So this man has won titles through adversity. I mean, his he motivated his teams. I mean, in the 2000 NBA playoffs, Game 7, Western Conference Finals against Portland. They were down by 30 points against Portland and came back to win that game. And really, he motivated his guys, by using all kinds of tactics, saying, for example, Shaq was saying that, Phil said, hey guys, maybe this is not our year. Do you guys really want this? We'll come back at it next year and stuff like that. He would use all these kinds of um, tactics and have his players read books and stuff, and had sage in the locker room for meditation. I mean, his tactics were unorthodox, but they worked. His teams were the best in terms of chemistry and gelling, and it resulted in titles and three-peats. So, in my opinion, I gotta say, it's Phil Jackson because it's so hard to win one title, let alone two titles, let alone three titles in a row. And this man's teams did it three consecutive times. Well, not three consecutive, but three times. Two three-peats for Chicago and one three-peat in Los Angeles. But yeah, this I gotta say that Phil Jackson is the greatest coach of all time. His resume in terms of coaching is second to none. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know in the comment section below which coach do you believe is the greatest coach in NBA history and why. I'll look forward to reading your comments, guys. Continue to like, comment, and subscribe on my videos. And got a lot more videos coming through, guys. Stay tuned. I'll see you guys next time.